You ain't seen nobody like this. You ain't seen nobody like this. You hear my sound all over town singing. Whoa. You ain't seen nobody like this. You ain't seen nobody like this. You hear my sound all over town singing. Whoa. I think there's something in the water. If you wanna take a sip. But be careful what you wish for. The faint of heart can't handle it. Everybody wants a piece of someone else's prize. But it ain't free, it don't come cheap. Only the strongest will survive. You ain't seen nobody like this.
Good evening and welcome to San Antonio Soccer Roundtable. My name is Harry. Let's open up the Solidarity beer. Cheers, everybody. Rafa, how are you?
Good. Back from Dorio. Went to go vote.
Get your vote on, people. Double check, triple check your ballots. Robert, how are you? The voice still good?
Oh, my voice is pretty shot, but I'm golden. I'm in. Let's go. Yeah. Rinse and repeat. I'll figure it out.
Thank
Sort
you for
shit
getting
out.
up early to watch the Broncos, who are victorious this morning. So thank you, Robert.
I don't remember that.
Matt, how are you?
Still sore. My arms are killing me. I woke up this morning and my back was hurting too. So,
Nice.
Yeah, you were whining a little bit after the match or the next day there. I'm
Oh,
just saying,
wow.
man.
Hey, Jordan took out my arm, man.
He did. That's all that too.
Royce is getting ready for kindergarten. He still has youngsters who value kindergarten more than just the candy and going out to the party. So, Royce, hope you and Susie have a fun time getting the kids ready and for tomorrow night. We were thinking about doing tomorrow night, and then Royce is like, it's Halloween, so can't do it on Halloween for that here. So we'll get the show on tonight. Initial thoughts on the week. We'll start with you, Matt. Besides the sore arms, what was your initial thoughts on the week? That has been
electrical, man. That everything was just came into place. Selling out the tickets, having a good crowd. That was the top off for me.
How was the bunker?
Jeez. Robert can even agree with me. Like, God, man,
It's electric.
it was rowdy. It was really rowdy. And then with the people up top trying to come in, it even better.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff.
Robert, how are you? I know your voice
amazing.
is a little bit sore this afternoon, but
It's completely shot from yelling and screaming and whatnot, but like I'll push through. Vikings win.
who?
Oh, 6-1. Let's go. It's a good week. SAFC Sunday.
3-5 Broncos. They're turning it around.
There's only one way to turn it, buddy.
Hey, Russell Wilson, that little exercise that he did on the plane all the way. Hey,
It might catch fire. It might catch fire.
They decided to hand off the ball, but Rafa, Real Madrid, did they pull it out today? I know it was 1-1.
It was stolen by the refs.
What happened was
There was a ball.
Hey, we're not talking about Austin, Rafa.
Oh, their broccoli got steamed today. So
Yes, we're not bringing conspiracies in. Did Real Madrid win or lose?
They tied, but we're still in first.
Yeah.
Can't say it at Bar, so they're going to Europa League. So
Nice.
Hey, that's an annual tradition now, right? Year 2 in a row.
Yep, and that's probably going to be an ongoing tradition.
That is something that we need to talk about at the end of the show. Is at what point does that catch up with Barcelona? Because obviously with Barcelona, Real Madrid, the bigger teams, it's all about Champions League and being able to go not only just in it, but to go deep, because that's where I'm assuming that's where more money comes into play. Going down to Europa, there is some money, but it's not to the level of Champions League. So
You can thank Bayern Munich for that, because I know they owe Bayern Munich some money. You can even ask Scott that too. I'm sure he's happy. They're slapping him around with their bratwurst on Barca the last 2 years. So, but yeah, there's a lot of money involved, especially with their financial situation. Not being there. I know some people are not very happy about it, but I don't know what's going to happen from here on out, but we can discuss that. And also, like I said, I saw some ramifications even going into some of the players with the World Cup. They're going to be ready to go as well too. Just kind of the psyche going into that.
And there is something in the works for the World Cup, possibly news coming out. But us and Pro SAFC and James with the Crocketeers, and I think AO and I forget. Was it Pancho's Villa, the Mexican supporters group? I think we're going to try to have some sort of live event before the World Cup to just to kind of hype it, and create a little bit more buzz for it here. So Robert's got a Claudio Reyna jersey.
Let's go.
Matt and Rafa are huge fans. So, but let's get into it. There is a lot to discuss. San Antonio FC did win 3-0, but I won't lie to you, when the lineups came out, or when the 18 came out, so not even when the lineups came out. Far Garcia, Kamari Tainer, so Garcia over Manley, which is kind of a discussion point that we had. Maloney, Gomez out wide, PC, and then the surprise was Dalim, with Abu being out on the injured report, and then Pirano is the other semi-midfielder, I guess you could say, and up top Patino and Sam, which I think was kind of a little bit of a surprise as well. I think most of us thought that Patino would be coming off the bench for that here, and I think he ended up playing the full 90 almost. For that year. So
he did.
There is one name that was not in the 18. You had Grant, backup keeper, McCullough, living the dream. Carter Manley, Elliot Collier, Ignacio, Nacho Bologna, Justin Dillon, David Larrera, and Jack Lynn, to me, was the surprise. I know we've kind of debated on a couple other people, and even how the game played out. I think it kind of showed a weakness, unfortunately. But I know at Toyota Field, Jack Lynn being in the 18 over Nicky Hernandez. I know Rafa's mentioned Saeed Abdul Salam as possible candidates. So we'll start with you, Rafa. Your thoughts on the 18? Did Coach won the game? Don't get me wrong, so he got it right. But did he get it right for Coach Rafa?
Well, I think the whole factor was the Abu being out. So, you had to go with Dalim. But Dalim's been, like I said, when he's been on playing that position, he's done well. He's been efficient. So I know he had confidence going in. The surprise was Patino going in. I thought they would save him, but I guess mindset by Marcino is, hey, let's put our two big guns, see if Oakland can handle them, because Patino did kind of give them problems in the last game when he went against Oakland. So, but the rest was, as far as the outside, where we're gonna see Manley as that wing defender, or is it gonna be Shannon? Or is it gonna be more defensive or a little bit more aggressive? But this is more like a little bit more offensive minded. I think he knew what he saw from the San Diego game, that we had to get a lead ahead to kind of throw off Oakland's strategy, and their strategy worked against San Diego and took them off the grid. Especially with them ended up with 8 players. So the bench, I was surprised. Like I said, with Abu out, you would think Nicky Hernandez will be there, or maybe Salam too, as added, for defending, But I was surprised that Jack was on there. I mean, I mean, look who he has ahead of him. You have Collier and Nacho, who have been consistent, and he hasn't really, and Dylan too. So, do we really need 6 forwards? We don't. So that was just kind of a little surprise there, and like I said, it could have bit us in the butt, but we got the result, and we won't. Or now we're on to the next.
Matt, your thoughts on the initial 18 and Jack Lynn being in, or anybody that wasn't in the 18 or the starting lineup that you would have liked to seen outside of Abu being on the injury report?
I actually wanted to see Nicky. Not gonna lie, I think that was my main overall. Him and Larrea out there. So it did shock me a little bit because I didn't get to see the injury report until like halftime. But I looked around for Robert during it, and I was like, "Wait, Boo's not in here. Where's Boo?" So yeah, it kind of shocked me to see more forwards than mids. So I mean, it was a go in for it, but still got the W. So that's all that really mattered.
Robert, your thoughts on the 18?
I guess like piggybacking off everyone, like Nicky. I mean, honestly, the shock was he's not in there. He's put so much in. He's put work in. He's shown quality, to offense, defense. He's kind of a guy that comes in and kind of spurs the team when things are not going quite, how they want to be. But I was actually pleasantly surprised with Delem. Honestly, for as hard as we've been on him, he actually put in a solid shift. He did well. He did what he needed to do. Like I said, he filled in great. Like I said, Jack, I mean, we've heard a lot of promise about him, but like we haven't seen a lot of substance. So it was interesting to see him in there. But the bottom line, like Matt said, is like, we won. We can all be like a backup manager at the end of the day, but the result's a result.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, and we got the result. What are we gonna do?
So here's how the lineup officially how it came out from San Antonio FC. That's a 3-5-2. I think it's still more of a 3-4-3 because I think Pirano plays a little bit further up top. But your thoughts on how they lined up? Any surprises? I think it's kind of the standard at this point, just depending on how they want to place it on the sheet here, right, Rafa?
Yeah. Well, like you said, your back three would call them the Bermuda Triangle or the Triangle of Depth. That's how they played. That's what they played all year. So, and mixing with with Manly too when he's part of it as well. So, I think you were going to go kind of match size with size because Oakland does had some good size up top. Mm-hmm. So that's what with that back three. Like I said, like we discussed last week, it was going to come down between Shannon and Manly. Are we going to be with Shannon it's going to be more offensive, or are you going to put Manly back there to be a little bit more defensive to kind of stop your counter? So Marcina decided to go with a more little offensive unit. Like I said, PC and Delem, like I said, they were going to be your holding mids and let Pirano kind of trail behind Sam and Patino and also wander off to the wing too, which we did see a lot. And it did open up a lot of opportunities. When you see the replays that he did, we missed some opportunities, but like I said, he played well, playing the ball on the outside and causing a lot of confusion where the Oakland's back four or back three. Sorry.
So, of course, USL Playoffs are presented by Hennessy, and of course, this highlights courtesy of them, YouTube, USL Championship, ESPN Plus. So we're going to kick off the highlights. We may pause it because, unfortunately, there was a significant injury, which we'll go into. Do you want to do the highlights first and then go and, then do the injuries, or when the injury happens, pause it and go over that? How do you guys want to do this?
We can pause it, I think.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take a look here.
Trying to capture their first championship in club history, as Oakland Roots trying to do the same as well. We are underway. With Nathan Partain and Aaron Sire, Drew and Dan Weiss give Oakland a 1-0 lead for an SAFC side squad that only trailed for 341 minutes all year. This ball into the box in search of PC. Lands at the feet of Patino. to the left foot of Sam and Dennery, and it's in. 2
First
minutes
goal.
into the match, SAFC is on the board.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. What a
Can't start a better match than that.
And Sam's a root killer. He's a root killer.
Hey, you see, he got that little kick on it. When it was
No, Sab
going in.
scored. Was that the fourth goal against the Roots? He's
Yeah,
a root
fourth.
killer, right? Yeah, he's got their number.
Why is my internet going well? So my question here for you guys, Rafa, on the goal here. Well, my computer seems to be cycling through here. Hasn't done that before.
It lands in the field. Patino.
Were you at all concerned when he did the kind of went through and did his little twirl here?
I think he had a. Well, we know he's a left-footed shooter, so he had to get it to his dominant side of, as far as shooting. But I think he did the right thing, because if you notice here, if he goes right, it's gonna be blocked. So he had to do that little pivot turn, and then I did yell out, shoot the ball. We're at the stand, shoot the ball. And he actually did do it, and yeah, that little turn right there kind of gave him, and that confused the goalkeeper. You know, he kind of suckered him in closer to the post, and he was able to land that shot at the far
In
end.
the shield too, it worked out to where the defender kind of almost shielded his view, and like it kind of sprung on him quicker than he was anticipating. Like it worked out in his favor in that way, because he allowed that guy to almost like set a pick.
And now Oakland's going to be on the offensive side here.
Last Saturday night, and he's got it in a similar spot here. The drive going for goal is just over frame from the 27-year-old.
But Farr had that.
Mary just couldn't round that corner quick enough. It's a great shot at the end of the day. Just
that one forward. Kamiri.
This one hurts. I won't lie to you.
Great ball. Perano in stride. Flicks it on just wide.
Yeah.
And then the one Patino soon after that.
Yeah, that one he really, I think, because it's not his dominant foot. Hitting it right. But still, I think he should have finished that off, because he had the angle.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think maybe aiming towards the post, maybe the hits opposing goes in. I think he could have done that. But I think if we get that goal, it's pretty much it's over.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, the reason why I meant to pause it before that here, because right after the goal, a couple minutes later, there unfortunately is an injury to PC.
Yeah.
Come on.
SAFC player back in the box in front of Jordan Farr.
So they're going to come up with the replays here momentarily, but you can see PC's in a lot of pain here. They'll come up with it here. To me, you could kind of feel the crowd lift. It was super high, and then when PC got hurt, you could kind of feel the air went out of it a little bit. And I think it affected how San Antonio finished. And I think if they would have, here's the replay here. There's a couple of them actually. So he unfortunately takes a knee. And I know Clementa didn't mean to do it, no intent. I still think it should have been a foul, just because the knee was high. Obviously, along those lines here. I'm not saying a red card, but I do think it should have been a foul at least. But
Or a yellow for dangerous play, because it was a dangerous play. It wasn't a violent, like intentional, but that should have been like I mentioned, a foul and a yellow card on that play.
So Royce found this here on Instagram. He did it in Spanish and English, but PC put, I would like to thank you, everyone that is giving me support in the moment. For those that didn't know, I broke 3 ribs and my spleen was bleeding, so I had minor surgery to stop the bleeding, and it was a success. Keep praying for me, which obviously we all are. But I'm assuming with 3 broken ribs and a spleen that was bleeding, I don't even think Superman's coming back for the playoffs. In 2 weeks here. So unfortunately, PC is going to be out for the rest of I'll use my Holiday Inn doctor degree and say PC is going to be out for the rest of the playoffs. Matt, we'll start with you. Your thoughts, number one, on the play. Number two, the impact of PC being out and what that means.
The play, like I said, like we all said, should have been at least a yellow for being a high knee, especially the substantial injury that came of it. As for PC, I mean, it's like I said, if he wasn't in, I was searching for a boo. That's probably would have been my second go-to. But I mean, it is what it is now. I mean, he got injured. Prayers to him, but hopefully we'll see how he recovers for hopefully next year.
And San Antonio has the depth to cover, so to me, it's more about his leadership being gone here. Rafa or Robert, whichever one wants to speak to that about his leadership and what losing your captain, and he wasn't the only captain. I think they had 4 of them this year here. But your thoughts on losing PC as a captain and the leadership and experience that he brings?
It's more like when you think SAFC, you think of certain players, and PC just comes to mind, just like the corazón. He's like the heart of the team, to where, like, I mean, he literally brings the fire to a degree where, like, other people rally around him because he's a veteran. People respect him. Other people in the league respect him. You saw the other players too kind of come up to him and make sure he's okay, because they know what he brings. He brings a little bit of heat, but at the same time, they respect the fact that, he's doing it for the passion of the game. He's not doing it cheap. It's not reckless. And unfortunately, it was a situation where, like, the player just came into him a little, recklessly. Foul, maybe, yes, but card, I don't know. Because, like, at the same time, like, the guy was trying to play the ball. It was an unfortunate impact. It just, hit him in the wrong spot. It is what it is. But the biggest thing I want to take from it, I hope the team, like, rallies around the fact that, let's rally around our Capitán. Let's win it for PC. I hope it becomes a point where, like, dude, we dig deeper. You know what? Our captain's down. We're going to dig deeper. We love this guy. We love this team. And we're going to win it for the city,
Rafa, your thoughts?
Yeah, losing him, he's a big game. What he brings into the table as far as when he plays, he's a game manager. He's also our enforcer too, and losing that is going to hurt. But like I mentioned, we have people step up. Like I said, Delem stepped up. He did what he needed to do. I think with this team, all the injuries that we've had all year long, someone's always stepped up to the next, to take that spot. We haven't dropped since. So, like I said, going into the next game, like I said, hopefully, like I said, we'll see Nicky Hernandez in the roster more like we will. And I'm sure he's going to be fired up too if he does get the opportunity to play, and he is capable of doing that because we've seen what he did at the Pittsburgh game. So, hopefully we also get a boo back. He'll be ready to go. But we have people here. But like I said, the team's got to rally. I think they rally around PC and go out and win it for him. He's just, like I said, he's the heart and soul of the team. And I think this is just gives them extra motivation for next Sunday's game. But it's a big loss, but like I said, the next man up, and that's what happened in this game. The next man up went in. Manley came in. Maloney went into the central defense, the central defense area, the central mid area, and took care of business. He did. We did see a little bit missing him a little bit, but we still kept up the pace and we still did what we needed to do. And like I said, we got the result.
And this is why I think kind of this. I think if Pirano scores this, we go right back to where we were before PC goes out. And it's not to say that, just to, I think Rafa during the match, you said Pirano's touch was just a little bit too heavy on that one where he didn't get it in the right spot. That was an open header.
Yeah, it was.
What a chance for Oakland.
And that's something we need to fix for the next game. We got to be better, more efficient on defending set pieces, and that's what Oakland's been notorious about.
Great service on the
Getting back into
post.
games of their set pieces.
Did you watch some of the things they were doing? They had some creative set pieces. They're like, they had. I was pretty impressed when I was rewatching it. I was like, man, they were trying to confuse us. Like with their set pieces weren't always dead on. It was like bam, 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 and then there was like 2-3 touches, and then it was like on. It was interesting.
What they were clearing lanes.
Yeah.
If you notice on that opportunity, they're clear the front post area to allow him from the backside. So that was basically his design play, kind of similar what we do with Tainer. So you can see there the lanes kind of cleared out. They're overloading the front side to allow that 1v1 in the backside. It's pretty much what Tainer does and what we do with Tainer when he does his headers from the backside.
Service on the back post.
And that was on Patino, right? I think it was number 9.
The return ball to Azakar, loses his footing, lands back to Magnus Carlson. What a save! What a
AJ came up with a funny nickname for Carlson. The Dollar Tree Harlan.
Jordan Farr fails SAFC. SAFC defense.
So some confusion there. Luckily, I think if he hits that shot low, it's in. I think he just went to try to get too fancy with a high shot.
Dennis, edge of the box, and it's got to be carried away on the sharp angle by Jordan Farr.
Your spot, and even on
He had some good saves that night.
That's a great save there because that's
There hasn't been
someone
two
on the back
dangerous
post.
corners. It was a set piece service or a foul service that they had the header that was open.
Magnus Carlson, first time.
That's the one.
Big save there.
Yeah, you hit it right at him though.
Nazarkar is trying to find the.
Connor Maloney's shot block lands to Rizzo, and have to take another look at that, Hayden. But the way that the 3 Oakland players converged on that ball.
This is why Dylan is so key for this offense.
I was gonna say, like, Patino got all the credit, but what Dylan did to settle that, bring it down, that was beautiful.
I think you got to give this one to Manley.
That too, the service, but Dylan,
He does not even look. He doesn't look. He just sends that ball in. He knows that someone's going to be up there to get it.
mm-hmm. And literally Dylan like brings it on beautifully, though. Clean as can be.
And what about Sam not, not,
I think that was kind of an accident that Sam dummied it like that. He kind of like didn't hold it well, and it went to Patino, and he's running to, it worked out. I don't think that was intentional. Look, he almost like mishit it. he was trying to like, and he was pointing. You see, like hit me on the break.
I won't lie. When he first touched it over to here, I was like, "Oh no, it's going to get intercepted." But he was able to play and put.
But Tino's feeling the playoffs, so you know how he is. The playoffs are his thing. Like, dude, he comes to life. He plays the whole game, scores multiple goals.
Bent a little bit, but didn't break, and they got that.
And here's Oakland's best chance of the night.
Yes, that's the one. That's the one where, like, yeah, he could have done way better with that.
Charlie Dennis's bit is blocked down. It was going to be right here.
That was the one, yeah.
77. Can't believe he missed it.
Looked like it was going to be a night for SAFC to come away with anything at home. And then moments later, it's Shannon Gomez who finds the back of the net.
I don't know why my internet's acting up. Come on, Google Fiber.
Puts it away.
That guy thought he was going to take it to the corner, so he like he like did a spin move. They took it to him.
He's like, "I'll get in my brace." In reality, he should have had a hat trick.
Oh, God, the one where he flubbed it in the first half. God, at least put it on frame. Challenge the keeper. Bare minimum, challenge the keeper. You put it on frame.
They ended up winning 3-0. I thought it was a fairly convincing win, but listening to social media, they're like, "Yeah, it wasn't that convincing." But at no point did I think Oakland was ever in a position where they were going to even be in position to win it or even push us to extra time. Am I wrong in that?
No, we're not a soccer purist. If you Soccer purists would literally, like, you watch that, they'll review the stat line and watch the game, and like, dude, you did not
All right,
dominate.
we're gonna get to the stats here in a minute, but
But
yeah.
like soccer purists love the idea of like you're touching around, you create like 1-2. Our team does not function that way. We're like 1-2, bam. Like the Dylan when he corralled the one from Manly, like you said, dude, that is example of SFC to the T. Hit it to him, hit it to Patino, boom. What is that? 3 passes, goal. Efficiency is the key. The one stat that we dominate is the score line. That's all we worry about, the score line. You can worry about all the cute stuff like the passing it back and forth, whatever, but the score line is the bottom line.
But even as that, when we scored the goal in the first 2 minutes, that killed their game plan.
It set the tone.
Because they were going to try to do. They were going to do the same thing what they did to San Diego.
Yeah.
And once we got that goal right away, it threw everything off, and they were forced to play the goal attack. And then and their attack wasn't really much, except for they had the one opportunity for that set piece, but they didn't really create chances like how we did. And they were probably maybe 1 or 2. Even though they're the purists are looking at the stats, so we shouldn't have won this and that, whatever. But what boils down to is how do you finish your opportunity? If you're finishing your opportunities, and that's what we did. We took advantage of that, and we, like I said, I think we flexed our game plan, and we did what we had to do, and we just made sure that they didn't get any cheap ones. Like with the first game that we had them the first time around when they came to San Antonio, they got a cheap one. So they learned from that and took care of business. And wherever the purists say, like I said, defense wins championships.
But I will say this, and I'm going to go over the stats here. There's one stat that if you're playing Tampa, if you're playing Louisville, you can't get away with it here. Possession for the game, 70-30. Second half was actually 72-28. But total shots, 16 for Oakland, 12 for us. But we had more on target, 4-3. They had 9 corner kicks. We had 3. Yet we had 3 big chances to their 2. Each of us missed 2, to the big chances. The Rafa stat here, it's got to drive him crazy a little bit. We only did 192 passes. We only completed 98 of them at a passing percentage of 51%, which I believe I think Nicholas Murray put out that it's the first time in modern USL history that a team won.
Yeah, it's the lowest. It's the lowest.
One with under 100 passes. Meanwhile, Oakland completed 367 passes at 79%. To me, though, this if you're going against Louisville and Tampa, and even against Colorado Springs a little bit, and we'll get into that, but against the powerhouses of the East, if we do go against Louisville or Tampa, which we, if San Antonio wins, they face one of them. The second half, the first half, San Antonio had 106 passes, 60 completed, 57%. Second half, they had 86 passes, 38 completed accurately for 44%. And I understand they're up, and it's how they play. But Rafa, if you're playing a top quality team that's talent, I don't know if there's any team that has the same talent that we do, total top to depth. But Louisville and Tampa, at their starting 11, go toe to toe with ours pretty well. For that here, so your thoughts on? Yeah, we got away with it with the 98 passes. The sub 60% for the game for that here. But your thoughts on Coach Marcina and how does he address this, or is it just something that what they're going to do?
The 2 key factors out of that stat is what we were missing was Abu and PC. Mm. Those guys are I think you can see Abu's passing. He's very accurate. So is PC. And I think that's why, we were low because, like I said, we had Delem. And like I said, that he's not a distributor, nor is Maloney in the middle. He's not a distributor. On the wing, yes, but not in the middle. Same thing. Perano's more of a possession player. He's going to try to dribble through you, even though he gave some some of the passes and a little bit more efficient. But I think that was a factor, why we're so low. And going into, like I said, hopefully these next 2 games, we have to have Babu back to kind of have that one player that can be efficient. And then, like I said, Nicky Hernandez is another player that can be efficient, distributing the ball. So we're going to need some distributors that we can go toe-to-toe with Louisville or Tampa. But the one thing, if you notice from this game, yes, possession was high, but if you notice, Oakland couldn't really get through our defense. So they had to play kind of side to side, back and forth, and really couldn't penetrate anything. And like I said, that's a big thing. Once we steal the ball from you, now we're gonna get you. Now when we catch you with your pants down, and then but when we catch you with your pants down, we're gonna score, quote unquote score. So, that's the Marcino ball right there. And we're not gonna be like Barca with the ticky tacky stuff. You can do all that stuff, but if you can't penetrate into our 18, so you keep all the ball you want, but we're gonna steal it from you and make you pay when we do get it.
Yes.
Robert, your thoughts? I know you're yesing a lot on what Rafa's saying.
The tail end of what he said. My thing is, when you got the possession, that's fine. You can do that, but it has to be quality possession and quality passes, quality accurate passes. If you're doing it back and forth to break down the defense on your end of the field to the point where like you're literally like stagnating the game when you're behind, you're literally playing into our hand. Like Rafa said, you're going back and forth. It has to be quality. That's the thing. In watching it back, like I didn't see a whole lot of like intricate passes on our end on the offensive end. It was a situation where they were passing it back and forth, shifting it back and forth. Yes, you can pad that number all day, every day, but to the point, what does it matter if you don't score? To me, it's the same when Lando last year said like, oh, they don't like to play, and they outpossess us, they outpass us. It's literally at the end of the day, it's the bottom line. Did you score or not? And they didn't. That's what people need to forget about. Soccer purists, I love it. I love the game. I love that idea. But we are playing a different brand that people are not accustomed to the point where they're like, oh, these guys are not playing the beautiful game. These are guys, dude, we ruthlessly efficient is the 2 words.
It's kind of like with
they don't like it.
It's like kind of like I say. I'll use like I said, like Ancelotti. They don't play a very sexy soccer. It's just we're gonna play efficient soccer and smart soccer. Smart soccer is gonna win you games. This fancy stuff. I think what we did get hurt a little bit was some of the overlaps on the wings. The Pittsburgh, like I said, Oakland did well on that, but towards the 18 box, we were able to defend and keep them from crossing balls into. And that's the thing; they never really cross balls into the box, and we were able to clear those out. So, like I said, I think we got to be better as far as the spacing, defending on those overlaps. But everything, they played into our game plan, and we took advantage of it.
For sure.
Matt, your thoughts on that?
It's just how I'm gonna go off of what Robert said. It's pretty much like it is. I mean, I can compare it to like the Spurs. We play selflessly. We always, if you see someone open, you get the ball to them. That's pretty much what we did in this past game. Bonnie saw dinner and saw Patino, kinda. There's your goal. Like that's just what I love about our team. They're very selfless. If you see somebody open, we get the goal off of that.
So the other action this week, Colorado Springs defeated Sacramento 2-1. Sacramento got an early goal that might have been offsides.
No, the sack goal. Lopez was like, he was hanging out a little. It was a nice chip, but like, he's like 2 yards past everyone else.
And he's like, good eye, ref. So,
he's like,
Colorado Springs did come back though at home. They beat RGV. They beat Sacramento, so they're going to be coming down Sunday, 7:30 kickoff. the Trailheads. Should be a fun match, entertaining. San Antonio's won both matches 1-0, which I think is a little bit surprising for that here. Out east, the match that just finished, Tampa defeated Memphis. I just want to thank the referee for speeding up the PKs and eliminating the extra time. He called a PK. I thought technically it's a foul. It's a soft. He did lower his shoulder, did go into him. So valid of the law, but I would have hated to see Tampa go out based on that call. But then Memphis missed their PK. Tampa went right back down. Valid PK on the goalie. Hacked the defender.
Musa, right? Yeah, he swept him out.
And Tampa converted their PK. Memphis missed theirs, and Tampa moves on. The other one out east, Mongols. Man, I'm sorry, but you guys messed it up. Louisville came back. Pittsburgh was up 2-0 late till about the 80th minute, and about 3 minutes, they let in 2 goals. One of them was a PK, valid PK. You can't dispute it. There was another offsides that disallowed a Riverhounds goal in extra time.
That was a goal. That's kind of suspect.
Unlike the Sacramento game, Pittsburgh didn't get it, and Louisville won it on PKs, and they pour that here. So Louisville, 8 out of 8 years that they've been in the leagues have been in the Eastern Conference Finals, and they'll host next Sunday at 6:30. So obviously we won't be watching it because we'll probably be at Toyota Field, or we better be at Toyota Field at that time. Thoughts just on the action? Louisville, Tampa should be a great one out east. I know Memphis was the 2nd seed, but I think the 2 best teams was Louisville and Rowdies. And I think San Antonio, Colorado Springs, you could argue were the 2 best teams all year as well. I know San Diego kind of crept in when Colorado Springs had a little bit of a slide mid-season. San Diego came in. But the 2 number 1 seeds and 2 number 3 seeds, your thoughts? We'll go with you, Matt. Your thoughts on how the USL playoffs are shaping up at this point?
I mean, you're not wrong. San Diego did keep in when Colorado was down, so to me, I felt like it was going to be us in Colorado the whole time. Can't say much for the East. Don't really pay attention to them. So I like to keep it on the West side. But yeah, like I said, I really didn't think much. San Diego just stuck in, and Colorado just showed what they were made of. Even with the sell of Hodgeberry, I mean, came out on top.
Naglina, he'll be one to watch. Robert, your thoughts? I know you kind of kept with me on watching all the action. Your thoughts on the craziness out east, which historically the craziness is on the west. This year the craziness is on the east.
Like you can say, there's a saying, cream rose to the top, and it did. It's a situation where the teams that traditionally the franchises that are more the anchors of the east showed up, and they're going to play together. It's going to be interesting. Not to look past Colorado, but in the event we have the opportunity to play them, I'm looking forward to playing either or of those. You got to be the best. You got to beat the best. I mean, I want either one of them. I mean, like I told you, I don't give a rip who we play, because at the end of the day, to be the best, you got to beat the best.
Right.
I mean, granted, we're a team that likes to kick the ball. We're not the best team in the USL, according to Burke. We're a team we're not the greatest soccer team ever.
We're not very good at soccer. Yes. We're not a very good soccer team.
We're so at soccer, so we're going to try our best against a team that's obviously way better. I mean, we're results driven. We play kickball, according to Burke, and I'm going to let him know that. And Sunday, I'm going to talk to him. He's not going to talk to me. I'm going to say a lot.
Rafa, your thoughts on how the playoffs have shook out?
I think that's what USL wants. The third matchup between the Rowdies and Louisville. I really honestly thought maybe Memphis was going to throw the monkey wrench, and I think they were going to be kind of like the boogeyman of the East, and maybe even threaten Louisville in that in the final. I think they were the one team that probably Louisville is scared of because Memphis is unpredictable, but because like I said, you have like playing Tampa for the third time. You have it. Like I said, you've lost. You got some motivation. Memphis is like an unknown. You don't know what could happen there. Here, like I said, you have the kind of the revenge factor, what motivates you. But if they had played Memphis, there's not much history between those teams.
After the last game, I wanted to see it. After the last game Louisville and Memphis played, I kind of wanted to see it because there was a lot of slapping. There was a lot of that kind of like made me think, oh, that'll be an interesting matchup. But Memphis.
But the one thing about the East, they have all the cream puffs over there. Here in the West, there are no cream puffs. I think we're more battle tested. Yeah. And like I said, we had a winning record against the East. We had that one little slip up against Indy, but which we should have won. But we took care of business at Birmingham. We took care of business at Pittsburgh, which is a tough place to win, especially against a Bob Lilly team. And like I said, I think we're more battle tested than the two teams in the East. Even Colorado too. They're battle tested too because the West was just a lot tougher conference, top to bottom. And look, and a lot of these teams couldn't clinch to the very last game, and the East was already set maybe about a couple of weeks a lot earlier. So it's going to be interesting for next Sunday.
It will be interesting. So looking at next Sunday, San Antonio owns the head-to-head win total, 8 wins, 4 draws, 3 wins for the Switchbacks, and the 3 wins for the Switchbacks are all in Colorado Springs for that here. This year in June 24th, because I was there, Friday night, Matthew Mahoney own goal by the Switchbacks was the only goal that was allowed. That was Didi Torre's last match where he came in right before the goal and subbed out 20 minutes later with an injury, and then but you could tell he was upset, and you could kind of tell he checked out. Rematch COVID delay was a Tuesday, September 22nd. PC actually scored in the 76th minute for that here. Jack Lynn was in the match, was subbed out 68th minute. And Collier came on, and I think that's when the offense started picking up is when Collier came in, if memory serves me correct. 1-0 tight matches. Usually they're a little chippy between the two. Your thoughts on how the matchup goes? I think San Antonio is more defensive. The Switchbacks obviously more offensive, but yet you look at the scores, been tight games.
Mm-hmm.
Robert?
I mean, tight when you talk about the scoreboard, but if you talk about like the shots, I mean, in Colorado, they're a little bit more dangerous. There was a situation where I guess Garcia saved from Barry. He did that sliding tackle to save the goal. But like reality, like honestly, if you start looking at quality chances, I mean the 1-0s to us, like on paper, people are like, "Oh, you didn't dominate." But if you start looking at quality chances, shots, stuff along those lines, I mean that's kind of like that same boa constrictor mentality. Like we literally put the goal on you early and often. Hopefully, I mean that's the key. Get on them early. Make them press, make them even that much more exposed and leaky on the back, and then put that second one in. Once the second one goes, God, that is the key. When we're up 2-0, it to me, I mean, unless we have some catastrophic meltdown or some like egregious like errors, I mean, we pretty much have put the vice on you. So that's going to be the fundamental thing. It's like play defense, play hard, play them physical, I mean, the big thing about like players that like to play like creative and is they hate to be hit. I mean, they hate to be banged. That's like the biggest thing when you watch like the European teams versus like South American teams. The South American teams hate to be banged. They hate it, like to the point where like it throws them off their game. They're like, dude, I don't want to go against these physical guys that are just banging it. Like to the point where it throws them off them. That's the key. Throw them off their game, score a couple goals, and be loud and electric at Toyota Field to the point where they can't think straight. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we need.
So before we get to you, Rafa, so here are the starting lineups for the match in June. Farr, Garcia, Kamari, Tainer, Abu, Gomez, Hernandez, Larrera, Maloney, Patino, Adeniran. Compared to me, it was kind of a rotated lineup. Farr, Tainer, Kamari, Manley, because Garcia was out at that time. Maloney, PC, Abu, Gomez, Pirano, Collier, and Nacho up top. Do you think it's a little bit more? You think Coach goes more offensive with Hernandez and Larrera with PC out, assuming Abu and you have Abu or Delim in the back, or do you think they go with the two in the back?
I think it's going to be the same lineup minus PC. I think we go with, like I said, Dylan will be starting. Hopefully, Abu starts. That's the key. I think we need his just his leadership. But the thing is, he controls the game, kind of like what Rafa did.
Rafa did, yeah.
He's a game manager, and that's what we need for this game. And we'll see what as far as wing. Do we start Gomez again and go after them, or do we put Manley he did come in that first half after the injury, which worked great too because we kind of stopped a lot of what Oakland couldn't really get by him. So it's gonna be interesting. One thing about Colorado, their defense is not as good as ours. And that they got exposed by Sacramento in that game. Even though they won, Sacramento really exposed them, and they missed a bunch of opportunities. And I think those are the opportunities I think that we have a little better quality that we could finish those. And I think now having Garcia back, because we had missed him on that second game. I think those three are going to dominate. So I think we have the advantage as far as better defensive. The midfield is going to be the question mark there, but I think up top we're a lot better. And like I said, they don't have Haji Berry anymore. I know they had someone step up, but still, if we shut him down, who else do they have? And then someone's going to have to carry that torch. And if they can't, we're gonna end up winning this game on Sunday.
Matt, your thoughts?
I mean, just kind of like what Rafa said. There's Garcia's back. You have your Bermuda Triangle back there, and it is a question mark who's to be the centerpiece. Do you see maybe Salam back in there? I do see Maloney. I do see maybe Christian Pirano somewhere in there a little bit, but it's the question of is Nicky gonna step up, or are we gonna have Larrera go in first half, or are we gonna keep him for second half? It's just that the centerpiece is what we want to look for. So I feel a little bit confident on seeing on defensive side. It's just who's gonna be that front, that middle 5 or 4.
Any final thoughts on SAFC Colorado before we move on to Champions League? Because there is one more round, and there are some very interesting groups, like Group D. I'm interested to hear how Rafa sees that shaking out.
I'm all confident. I'm fine with that. We're already in the second round, so I'm not worried about that.
So Group A, Napoli plays Liverpool for the last match. Both have qualified. It's just a matter of who finishes first or second. Right now, Napoli's 15-12. Ajax Rangers, thanks for playing. And I guess they're playing for Europa, right?
For the Europa League, yeah.
So, group. Do you have any favorite on Napoli Liverpool? Does it really matter? Or?
What can you say about Napoli? They've been on fire. I mean, nobody really, and even in the Serie A, they're doing well too. Chucky Lozano's, like I said, part of the men's national team. He's playing great. The rumor is, I think a mid-season transfer. I think they are going to target probably Cristiano Ronaldo, and if they get him to play for Napoli on a free, that's going to help them boost them up in the knockout stage. You know, so they'll have a veteran there player, but like I said, he's going to have to change his attitude a little bit. But I think he can help out Napoli if he does.
He was signing autographs today.
Yeah. So his farewell autographs for the Man U fans.
Group B, Club Brugge still rolling. Porto closely behind at 9 points, but Atletico and Bayern Leverkusen playing for Europa. And Club Brugge plays by Leverkusen, and Porto plays Atletico Madrid. How do you see this? You think Porto jumps Club Brugge, or you think Brugge finishes in the top slot?
I think Brugge finishes in the top spot. I think Porto gets the runner-up, and then they'll send Atletico Madrid with someone else in the Liga to the Europa League.
And this group's already settled. Bayern entered Barcelona and Pilsen. Barcelona, welcome to Europa again. Only one win. That has to be kind of disappointing for them. Now they do get was it Victoria Pilsen on there, so they'll probably end up with 2 points. But still, it's got to be a disappointing for Barcelona fans. Group D, Rafa. What in the blue moon's going on here? Tottenham at 8, Sporting CP at 7, Frankfurt at 7, Marseille at 6. And in this one here, Tottenham plays Marseille and Sporting Portugal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Plays Eintracht Frankfurt. So big match.
Yeah, they're all big matches, and I knew Tottenham would be the favorite, and then it was going to be a fight with. I think I was going to give Marseille kind of the edge because they usually play well, but you got to give it to Sporting. I mean, Sporting has gotten some key wins, it got some points. Frankfurt, like I said, they won the Europa League last year. I thought they were going to maybe do a little bit much better, but haven't shown that. So, like I said, it's going to come down to that last game. But I think eventually, I think Tottenham will get it, and we'll see how the other two fight out for that. Who gets to go to Europa? Who gets to go on to the knockout phase for the Champions League?
I would love to see Tottenham. I don't think they can get any lower than Europa. Looking at it here, because I think the worst that they can finish is third. But to go from first to third, I wouldn't object to that personally, because I don't think it's goal difference on tiebreakers, right?
Yeah, and head to head.
Oh yeah, head to head. So I'd have to go through and look at the head to head, but that would be interesting if these two tied. Tottenham loses, and Marseille beats them by a couple of goals. How that would shake down between Frankfurt and.
Yeah, I think they go to head to head or away goals or something. And
so
maybe they do the Friday Night Lights to do the coin flip like they did with Permian and Midland League.
So 0-0. Yeah, so they won 3-2. So yeah, they have the advantage. Group E, still a little bit to play for. The big match is Milan and Salzburg playing head to head. 7 and 6 points. Chelsea's in the first, and Dynamo Zagreb still could get into Europa playoffs if they beat Chelsea, and Chelsea really doesn't have anything to play for. But you got to figure Milan and RB Salzburg. One of the matches of this last window for that here. Any thoughts on Milan and Salzburg?
I think Milan will go through. But that game, Zagreb and Chelsea, Zagreb actually beat Chelsea, so I think Chelsea will probably want to get a little revenge. They need some momentum going into the knockout phase because they
didn't play well yesterday.
Yeah, they didn't play well yesterday, so they need some momentum going into.
And Captain America missed a wide open shot. Coach Cano We're past the Madrid section. I'm sorry.
Don't talk about him that way. Captain America.
Oh no, I guess we're coming up on it right now. Sorry.
You hear about
No disrespect.
Captain America may end up playing in the Italian league, or what was the other rumor? He may play what Newcastle.
Newcastle. I wouldn't mind seeing him on
With
Newcastle.
The Magpies. Yeah.
As a Newcastle fan, they're on a roll. Miguel Emerella, or I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Dude, he's six goals. Can't change a coach. Coaching matters. Group F: Real Madrid, RB Leipzig, Shakhtar Donetsk, 9-6, and Celtics bringing up the bottom. Still not everything locked up though, right?
Real Madrid's already clinched.
Well, clinched, but they haven't won the group now. They play Celtic, so
yeah, they'll take care of Celtic, and the game's at Madrid, so it should be no problem there. The Red Bulls and Shakhtar, that's going to be a really good game. Yeah.
You give the favorite to.
I don't know
RB
who's
Leipzig?
playing. I don't know who's hosting that game.
Stadium Warzone in Mars. I think Shakhtar.
Shakhtar. Okay, so they're playing the game in Poland.
Yeah.
So that'll be a Poland. So it's tough to play there. So I'll give Shakhtar the edge on that one.
And they beat them 4-1 in the opening match.
Mm-hmm.
Group G, Man City, cruising. I know they had a draw the last match, a 0-0 draw, but really they don't have anything to play for. Dortmund, Sevilla, Copenhagen. On this one here, I think it's Dortmund and Sevilla that's playing each other. Oh, no. Man City's playing Sevilla and Dortmund's playing Copenhagen. Dortmund's going to get through, right? Because do you see Sevilla getting the win against Man City even when they don't have anything to play
Sevilla
for?
needs to win that game.
And it's
they need
at
to
Man
win that
City.
game. Man City, yeah. They have to at least get a draw because if not, Copenhagen could probably sneak in on Dortmund and get a win or even a draw to probably pass them there. But like I said, Dortmund and Man City, they're on the next round going through.
So here's my question: PSG, Juventus. They play. How bad does Juventus get beat?
Well, they're out with Weston.
Yeah, Weston's out 3 weeks, right?
Yep.
And then Benfica plays Maccabi
Later.
Here's a key here because I think ESPN FC mentioned about they did a little forecast of who as far as the knockout stage. If PSG wins, they're gonna end up being probably in the hardest section of the knockout stage.
They draw though, right?
Huh? Yeah.
It's a draw, right?
Well, somewhat, but the way that I think they had it set up, they're gonna be kind of like in one of the hardest. I think the hardest section of the tournament, of the knockout stage. And if I'm PSG, I was like, well, you know what? Maybe kind of give up. That and let the other guy win and finish second and maybe be able to, because like I said, some of those first place teams are not. I think the only first place teams that's really strong is like I said, besides Real Madrid, is Man City. Man City's been consistent, and Bayern Munich. Those are the only three.
And for the draw, there's 2 pots. The winners are in one side, the runner-ups are in the second. And this is where you say, hey, it gets a little bit more difficult because no team can play a club from their group, so from their existing group, or from their league side from their league. So
domestically onto the semifinals or something like that.
Wasn't it 2 years ago or a year ago? May have been last year, 2 years ago, where they had to redraw it because of they inadvertently made an error.
I think that was last year when they put Real Madrid with PSG. I'm sure PSG regrets it. They regretted it after that. They're like, should have kept it the same. It could have been a different result. But because like I said, maybe PSG would match up well against Club Brugge or something, or maybe some of the other teams. But I think but then also the downfall is that they could end up, if they finish at second place, they can end up playing Bayern Munich in that knockouts in that quarterfinal stage. So, or the second round stage. So it's going to be interesting when they start playing again. I think February. I think that's when they start doing the knockout stage.
Doesn't Bayern Munich usually play Liverpool, or isn't it one of those where there's one that they always, for whatever reason, they always end up matching up?
But like I said, I think Bayern Munich's had Liverpool's number. Liverpool's not playing well right now.
No, not at all. So, any final thoughts as far as within the game of soccer or anything along those lines? We'll go with you, Robert. Any final thoughts on the game of soccer, wherever you want to take us to?
I mean, the biggest thing is like support local, show up, let's be loud, let's win. I mean, like, let the guys know that we're really behind them, show up, like, let's be loud. Matt, hope your arm's okay. It's good. Yeah, I know. Show up. Yeah.
Man, it's the chance me
love.
picks.
Love. Yeah. You gotta.
It's the chance he picks.
Shout out to him.
AJ's shouting out Robert here. Robert's room looks cool. So shout out to
Okay, cool. Thank you. Appreciate it, AJ.
I will say this. Don't wait for tickets, as we saw with the last match. If you want to go, you better get on there now or early this week, because towards the end of the week, don't be shocked if standing room tickets are the only thing that's available again. So,
I mean, it wasn't that bad either to get standing room tickets, because a lot of people didn't show up for their seats either.
I love the standing room tickets on that line there. When the Scorpions used to play, when I didn't have the seats right on the front row, I would stand and watch the game from there, because it's up high. It's the perfect seat. You can pace around a little bit. You got the rail that you can lean on. It's a good surprise. Matt, your final thoughts. You gonna be lifting some weights this week, or?
Shit, I gotta count the coins tomorrow, man, for our deposit. So I'll probably be lifting like maybe 25 pounds of coins. So per route. But yeah, just everybody come out, have fun, and just be electric like this last game. I mean, if you didn't hear us from one side, you heard it from the north end. I mean,
Yes.
It was very loud. It was very electrifying. When Jordan came over, he said, "Thank you." He looked at me and Robert. He was saying the noise was a big factor. The showing them how much passion there is. I could say, we show up. Really, so try to take it to the last second. I had to buy an expensive one. So please buy your tickets now.
Rafa, your final thoughts soccer-wise before we go to final thoughts of wild card, whatever it could be?
Final thoughts, like I said, good turnout Friday night. Like I said, we're not done yet. I think we need to win this one for PC. Like I said, let's finish the fight. Because I do want to run on, like you mentioned, we do want to run on the stadium like the Scorpions, like in 2014. So, and then also shout out to all the TAPS teams that are going to start soccer. So we'll be looking out for you guys pretty soon. Hopefully we'll get to go out to some TAPS games. So also, support the private schools for their soccer. And then after Thanksgiving, that's when the UIL starts too. So we'll be covering that as well. So hopefully we'll have some on that fun stuff, and also that World Cup coverage as well too. So should be interesting. We're still, even though SAFC is coming to an end, we still got plenty of soccer here in San Antonio with the Tabs in high school. And also good luck to UTSA. The girls did win their season finale, and good luck to them in the Conference USA tournament, and also the other local teams as well, like St. Mary's and Incarnate Word, Tamusa, like I said, and Trinity. Good luck to you guys, all the men's and women's. Make us proud. Bring some hard work back to San Antonio.
Yeah, we may, depending on my work schedule, I might try to see if we can put something together a little bit later this week to kind of highlight the college. I know UTSA kicks off. They're the number 6 seed. They'll be going against the 3rd seed. I forget who it is, but they got a chance. for that here. They improved from last year. Matt, your final thought overall? Any wild cards that you want to bring up here? Soccer, non-soccer, whatever.
Just keep, just like I said, bring the electrifying atmosphere. That's all we need. Come out under the bridge with us, party it up for a little bit, and time to get to work. And don't say hi to any visitors because sheesh, freaking rude, motherfuckers. They were trying to say hi to one, and they told us, nope.
No, I think the trail. I do know that there will be members of the Trailheads that'll be coming down. Switchbacks.
I would love to have them.
So I do know them, and we're very friendly towards them. I know they welcomed me and AJ and the Czechs when we went up there. So we've always had good relationship with the Trailheads and Annie and her family that comes down. So. And if any, it's a 15 hour drive. So you could leave Saturday, come down, stay overnight, get in late, rest up, leave early Monday morning. You'll have to miss one day of work. Now, Tuesday will suck because you're all draggy ass from the drive back. But it's doable, especially if you put 3 or 4 in a car, split the gas. It is doable. It's a long drive, but it's not a hard drive.
But like I said, hey, come out, come enjoy it. We'll give you that Southern hospitality.
So I'm getting heckled by Johnny from the Stampede, I guess, in the eFootball RGV upset San Antonio FC when they played here. So congrats, RGV, on the win in eFootball.
They're still fishing down in the valley.
I hope you can sleep at night.
But no, like I said here, I know USL's putting that on, and like I said here, but congratulations to whoever wins that. I don't follow I tried playing the eFootball, and just it wasn't my cup of tea. Robert, your final thought that you have, wild card for anything?
I have a couple things. Go out and vote. If you want to change things, you want things different. Here, now's the time. It's early voting now, and eventually it's going to be like the main thing. But go out now, voice your opinion. Make sure you're heard. Make sure you vote for what you want. And then the second thing is I want to apologize to England for 2 things. I want to apologize to England for breaking away from them and what they had to witness today, watching the Broncos and the Jets play what they called football. And Russell
Dude, we scored 21 points. What are you talking about?
Let me fit it. It's my turn.
they weren't jumping off the London Bridge into the thing.
It's my turn. I think you're interrupting my wild card, sir.
I'm sure Arsenal wasn't playing.
Yeah, exactly. They enjoy the field goals over there, and there was a couple touchdowns. And Russell Wilson, he didn't steal as many paychecks today. But anyways, but all banter aside, like Matt said, show up. Let's fucking have fun. Let's have an amazing time. Let's show them what we're about. Be classy. Don't throw stuff on the field. Be good people. Let those people come, hang out, have fun. Let them know that soccer's great, and love you guys.
Yeah. So my final thought is the voting as well. If you want to get ahead of the lines, early voting wraps up on November 4th, and of course the election is November 8th. So if you want to try to get out and get your vote, get your voice heard, make sure you take your ID, make sure you double check your ballot, triple check your ballot, just to, make sure that everything is up and up. And like I said here, if you want change to happen, I don't care what kind of change you want, but just go out and vote. Especially young people. That's how you can make the biggest changes and get your voice heard is by voting, for that here. So take the time out. I know some employers will pay for it. I live on the Northwest side. There's plenty of options that you can go in, and right now you can get in and out within half hour at most. If you're going at a high point, sometimes you can walk in, walk out fairly quickly, but safe travels to the Trailheads and the Switchback fans coming down. They're a great bunch. Looking forward to the tailgate, and we'll see what the Crocketeers 210 and Mission City have through here. I have spoke with American Outlaws a little bit more. They're looking to make some changes as well within leadership, to try to be a little bit more open. So I think we're starting to see with Mission City kind of taking that next step, coming back more active, with American Outlaws becoming more active, the Crocketeers still, being active, and 210 Alliance being active. We're starting to see things pick back up. Great time to kind of sell San Antonio FC, not only for the playoff matches, but for season tickets of next year. So season packages for that here. So if you know somebody that likes the game, especially kids, to me, it's the best ticket you have, and especially taking, AJ and his friends a couple of times, and they enjoy it. And it's awesome to see. And, there's plenty of people playing soccer here in San Antonio where we can fill out an 8,000 seat stadium. But outside of that, just be kind to each other. That's the big thing. And, treat everybody like your grandma, show them some respect. And what's life without goals? We're out of here. And be safe, PC. And like I said here, speedy recovery for you, my friend.